In addition to some top Republican politicians saying no to Trump, some big-time activists are doing the very same thing, going as far as to talk about a third-party candidate. One of the loudest voices in that camp, talk radio host Erick Erickson, who joins us now from Macon, Georgia. Eric, nice to have you here.
Thanks for having me.
All right, so you were part of the Never Trump movement. Sufficing to say, you guys lost, he won. Where do we go from here?
Well, there are a lot of us. It's not just establishment Republicans, but also conservative activists who have fought the Republican establishment who are opposed to Trump. And the fight on that side is whether or not you do form a third party or you just sit it out and let Trump lose on his own. I mean, the calculus that everyone needs to understand is that a lot of conservatives have concluded whether there's a third party or not, Trump's not going to beat Hillary. So do you give conservatives a place to go to a new home, since Trump is now saying, for example, this weekend that the Republican Party isn't a conservative party, it's the Republican Party.
To that point, in terms of where do conservatives go, you wrote something about that back in 2015, August 19th to be exact, when you were the editor of RedState.com. I am the editor of RedState.com. You write, "We have long maintained that we are conservative in the primary and Republican in the general election. If Donald Trump is the Republican nominee, he has my vote." Is that statement still true or no longer?
No, it's not true for a number of reasons, including the fact that Donald Trump is now abandoning the free market for protectionism, abandoning blocking the minimum wage for increasing it, abandoning low taxes for high taxes, and waffling on life. If he's going to change the Republican Party from what it was last year, then I guess I'm not a Republican.
If you say you're not a Republican, though, fair to say, in terms of whatever electoral map you look at, if there is a third-party candidate, it splits the electorate, and Hillary Clinton is guaranteed to be the president. Which is better, Hillary Clinton or Donald Trump?
Well, you know, if you put a gun to my head and said, who do I pick, Hillary or Donald, I would pick the bullet. They're just as bad. And I don't think that the choice for conservatives should be to decide between two evils. Given the choice of two evils, choose neither.
All right, so where does this go from here? Obviously, we have the presidential race. You say you'd rather have the bullet when it comes to that. Looking down the ticket, though, how does this affect things, especially in places like Georgia that some polls say possibly could now be up for play?
Well, and that's why the third-party idea is taking so much merit from conservatives, is to give people a reason to show up in November so Republicans don't get crushed down ballot. Right now, there's no poll showing that Donald Trump makes a blue state red, but you've now got Mississippi, Utah, Arizona, and Georgia, all Republican states, solidly Republican, that now are moving blue because of the Trump-Clinton situation. So you're going to have to get Republicans out in November, and if they're not going to show up for Trump, they need someone at the top of the ticket to get them out to vote to save down ballot races.
Is that the issue, though? Do you need somebody at the top of the ticket to get Republicans out, true conservatives, as you would call them, or will they come out specifically for those down ballot races?
I think it becomes very hard to incentivize people to go vote if the choices are Clinton and Trump, because that's going to dominate the conversation. Senate, congressional, state legislative races aren't going to dominate the race. And so when the coverage is all Clinton versus Trump, a lot of people will be demoralized and stay home. Give them a third party to go vote as a protest against Clinton and Trump even, and they may show up still and vote Republican down ballot.
I got 15 seconds. Give me 3 names you'd find acceptable.
Ben Sasse is probably the most commonly talked about name. Tom Coburn is a name that's being talked about as well. They're still looking for other names, and honestly, that's the problem with third party right now, is who do you run? Nobody seems to agree.
Well, nobody seems to agree, but we appreciate your thoughts on this Mother's Day. All the best, Eric.
Thanks very much.
Good having you. Liz?